Hello, Andy Kind here, and it's my time to be thankful for it being Thursday. And I was thinking about it, and actually I want to read something that has brought me a lot of comfort over the years, but I'd actually forgotten for a while recently. And it's Isaiah 51 verse 3, quite a long verse, but I'll just read it. And in my Bible here, as I opened it, I've written, "Thank you, Lord," because I'm so grateful for this verse. So Isaiah 51 verse 3, "The Lord will surely comfort Zion and will look with compassion on all her ruins. He will make her deserts like Eden, her wastelands like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found in her, thanksgiving and the sound of singing." Now, that's a verse that my mum sent to me in 2004 when I was living down in London. I was only there for about 6 months, living in North London, Manor House, and working sort of marketing Spanish property. It was one of those 2-bit graduate jobs that lots of people get when they leave university, and I was hating it. I was feeling really, really low. I'd just become a Christian before I moved to London, and yet here I was sitting in this little box room, tiny store cupboard, which was £100 a week just for this tiny room. And I remember lying there feeling really bored and very lonely. The people I was sharing a house with were really from a different sort of world to me. They would stay up all night, and there were a lot of drugs in the house. So I was just feeling very, very lonely and isolated, and also confused, thinking, well, what is this Christian life supposed to be about? I've become a Christian now. What's going to happen? And one night my mum sent me this verse, and she sent me loads of verses over the years, and so many of them have been really helpful, but this is the one that's really stuck with me, and for a while was sort of my motto, the equivalent of a poster above my bed. And she said she'd been praying and she felt the Lord lead her to that. And what was amazing about it, I remember at the time thinking, oh, that's not an accurate verse, because although I do feel as though my life is in ruins and a bit like a desert, my life feels like it's full of wastelands. The last bit doesn't match, because it says joy and gladness will be found in her, thanksgiving and the sound of singing. Well, I don't sing, I can't sing, so I'm never going to be singing. But I was very encouraged because that verse speaks to the idea of God bringing something to fullness, bringing something out of a place of desolation into a place of fruitfulness. And shortly after that, a few months after that, I left London. I quit my job, and I didn't have another job to go to, but I moved back home to mum and dad in Newcastle under Lyme. And then a few months after that, I started doing comedy, which is the job that I've been lucky enough to do, the career I've been lucky enough to have for nearly 16 years now. And I've never needed another job because of God's faithfulness. I've never needed to do another job. I've always made money from doing comedy. And I remember one evening in particular, several years after that, maybe 2008 now, driving home from a gig and just singing out of the window, singing worship music or something. And then that verse came back to mind, and I thought, oh gosh, that's what it means. The Lord has comforted Zion. I was doing the job that I've always wanted to do. I'm doing a career that I love, that I get a lot of life from. The Lord has comforted Zion and has looked with compassion on all of her ruins. He has made her deserts like Eden, her wastelands like the garden of the Lord. I felt like my life was overflowing with fruit and good things and was no longer a wasteland. Joy and gladness will be found in her, thanksgiving and the sound of singing. Even bad singing out of a window at 2 a.m. on a Friday evening, it counts. The prophecy was complete. And so I'm just really grateful for that. Lots of other verses in the Bible I love and that I cling to, but that's one that really stuck out. So hopefully that'll be an encouragement for you on this Thankful Thursday.